It was definitely one that we discussed that I felt was not on the top of my list, but looking at all of the different aspects of what the feat does for you, I totally dig it, and it definitely works for this particular build. I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
And I'm Nerdarchy Dave.
Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. Looks like we're diving back into the Warlock class this time to discuss some fun stuff, huh?
We're going to be looking at the Hexblade specifically, and, what are the best feats that you're going to want to look at if you're playing a Hexblade?
So what makes a Warlock Gish different than other Gish classes?
All right, so first of all, a Gish is a character that does, fights with, weapons, maybe wears armor, and also casts spells in combat. I would say the biggest thing is the Warlock is a very magical class, but they don't have a lot of spells. So that's definitely going to affect, what you're going to do with your castings, how many castings you're going to get, and that's definitely going to affect some of your selections.
Yeah, when you have to limit what you get over the course of a single combat, especially if you're not playing in a game where you can rest between each, you definitely have to make good choices and make choices that are going to be optimal for your particular character build.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get 2 spell slots up until a fairly high level before you actually get a third.
Right. So if you like these videos and the articles over on nerdarchy.com and you'd like to help support us, why not come check us out on Patreon and help us out over there?
Speaking of articles, if you want to check out one of those articles that is, loosely has to do with Warlock, as a matter of fact, we add a whole new subclass over there. You can work for the collective as a 5e Warlock, basically Cyberpunk meets D&D.
All right, so we're going to dive in and we're going to come up with the top 5 feats that you should select for your Warlock Hexblade to make them the best Hexblade that you can get. So these are not in any particular order, but they're the top 5 that we feel are going to be most useful for that Warlock Hexblade. The first one I got here is Sentinel. You have mastered techniques to take advantage of every drop in an enemy's guard, gaining the following benefits. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. Creatures provoke opportunity attacks from you even if they take the disengage action before leaving your reach. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, and that target doesn't have this feat, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature.
Yeah, this is super useful because one of the things that a Warlock doesn't usually have a lot of is things to do with our reaction. And this gives you more things to do with your reaction. It makes you more sticky if you're in combat. And also, like, one of the benefits of playing a Warlock is, Hex is a huge part of their kit, which every time you make an attack roll and hit, you do extra damage. So the more attack rolls you can kind of garner from your character, the more hitting you're going to do. So you're going to get to roll that more often.
Yeah, increasing your damage, if they leave, if they attack your ally, not you, boom, you're going to hit them. That extra damage is going to really weigh out. And given how much the specific Hexblade Warlock hits for, adding charisma to damage, if you've got Hex and Hexblade's curse on, you're whomping in some extra stuff going on.
So next up, I've got Tough. I'm going to pull that one up here. Your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your level when you gain this feat. Whenever you gain a level thereafter, your hit point maximum increases by an additional 2 hit points.
So this one is great. Over the course of 20 levels, you're going to stack on an additional 40 hit points. And since the Warlock is technically a spellcaster class, they're coming in at a D8. And if you're getting into melee, you're probably not wearing the heavy armor. You're maxing out charisma most likely, so your dex is not your priority. So you're going to have a lower armor class than normal, which means you're going to get hit more often. So stacking on those extra hit points is really worth it in the end.
Yep, getting beefier if you're going to be in melee, taking damage is the way to go.
So I got for the third one here, I got an odd choice, and that's going to be Poisoner. You can prepare and deliver deadly poisons, granting you the following benefits. When you make the damage roll that deals poison damage, it ignores resistance to poison damage. You can apply poison to a weapon or a piece of ammunition as a bonus action instead of an action. You gain proficiency with the Poisoner's Kits if you don't already have it. With 1 hour of work using a Poisoner's Kit and expending 50 gold worth of materials, you can create a number of doses of potent poison equal to your proficiency bonus. Once applied to a weapon or a piece of ammunition, the poison retains its potency for 1 minute or until you hit with a melee weapon or ammunition. When a creature takes damage from the coated weapon or ammunition, the creature must make a DC 14 con save or take 2d8 poison damage and become poisoned until the end of your next turn.
All right, so I really like this one because it's a way to add extra damage. 2d8 when you attack, not bad at all. The also you become proficient in poisoner's kit and also applying poisons. Now I will say the downside, the thing that's really tough about this is a Hexblade specifically has things to do with their bonus action. You're going to cast Hex, and you're going to use your Hexblade's Curse. So that can be a little tough. Now, the good thing is you can put it on your weapon, that the poison you make, and it lasts a minute. So if you have time before the battle, you can, you can poison up your weapon.
Right.
And then at least, for the first round, you don't have to worry about it. But there are other poisons that last much longer on a weapon. So you could apply those as well. And not have to, not have to worry about it as much. But also an extra 2d8 is really sweet. And in addition to that, the poison condition, when you hit with it, is really good as well.
Yeah, being able to give them the disadvantage on their attack rolls, that's going to really, soften them up so that they're not hitting quite as hard against you. So it was definitely one that we discussed that I felt was not on the top of my list, but looking at all of the different aspects of what the feat does for you, I totally dig it, and it definitely works for this particular build.
So next up, we've got Fighting Initiate. Your martial training has helped you develop a particular style of fighting. As a result, you learn one fighting style option of your choice from the fighter class. If you already have a style, the one you choose must be different. Whenever you reach a level that grants this ability score improvement feature, you can replace the Feats fighting style with another one from the fighter class that you don't have. So this is just a way to make you better at whatever you're doing. Like however you're fighting, you do have armor, so you can take protective or protection if you want more armor class, or no, defensive, you're correct. If you want to take defensive, you can increase your armor class. If you're fighting with a shield and using a one-handed weapon, you can, increase your minimum damage, or increase your damage overall by +2 for fighting with a one-handed weapon. If you want to fight with 2 weapons, you can do that as well, but see previous aforementioned things they did with your bonus action.
But the Hexblade allows you to use pretty much any weapon, so you could even go with the heavy and be able to increase, your overall damage potential by getting the ability to reroll those 1s and 2s. So you definitely have a lot of options. I dig that one because of its versatility, regardless of what style of Hexblade you're going with.
For sure.
All right, so the last one we have on the list is going to be Mage Slayer. You have practiced techniques useful in melee combat against spellcasters, gaining the following benefits. When a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on the spell, the creature has disadvantage on the saving throw it makes to maintain concentration, and you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by creatures within 5 feet of you. So this does, numerous things. Again, another option to use your reaction to get another attack. Super helpful. If they're concentrating on a spell, you definitely want them to fail those concentration checks when you smack them. So that's going to be another good thing. Oh, you cast a spell? Boom, I smack you. It's possible that they're not even going to get to keep the spell that they just cast on themselves because you use your reaction to attack them right away, and then they fail that concentration check. Boom. Super awesome ability. And then, saving throws on spells if they have to be standing next to you. That's super helpful for you.
Yeah, like you said, anything that uses that reaction to get more attacks, like that's what we want to do with our Hexblade. We've done other videos talking about Hexblades of different ways to stack up the damage, and it gets quite high. Oh, yeah. So we just wanted to kind of build on that with Feats. Now, there's a couple of people like, well, why didn't you choose, like Warcaster, for instance? Warcaster is generally a really good feat for a Gish, except for the Warlock doesn't have
enough spell
slots. I mean, you could use cantrips instead, but at that point, like, I feel like you're building the Hexblade in a way that they're really good just with hitting with their weapon, and they probably do more damage with that anyway.
Yeah, you want to turn that weapon to womp and smack people with it. So that's what we were looking to approach this particular video. And there are a number of other feats out there that might take a character in another direction. You could definitely, go with some of the armored feats to be able to bump up that armor class. But we just felt the Hexblade is designed to hit and hit hard. So we wanted to do things to either increase the number of hits or the extra damage that you're looking at doing.
Yeah, the weapon fights, weapon feats are kind of nice, like Crusher, Piercer, Slasher. They're kind of nice and deserve mention. Great weapon fighter. Again, that was almost on the list, but again, you need that bonus action, and we just know like your first two bonus actions are pretty much taken up. And now taking the minus to get the bonus could be good. Dual weapon fighter is also a good. I think it's dual weapon wielder.
Yeah,
actually,
dual weapon wielder is great, but again, see that aforementioned, you're using up your bonus action, and you kind of need the fighting style of 2-weapon fighting to kind of get your weapon or your modifier to damage with that offhand attack. So it would take a double stack of feats in order to really make that apply. So we really felt like concentrating on any type of warlock or any type of Hexblade Warlock, these feats all work for. So it works.
Let us know which ones you're using in your game. Do you agree, disagree? Give us your list down below and share it with the Nerdarchy community in the comments.
While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You know the drill.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel, but you can't wait till then. No worries, we have you covered. You can check out the 5 best invocations for a D&D Warlock up here.
So until next time, stay nerdy.